Hello there, my battalion and viewers. I'm the Knight of Arcane, and with the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, me and the other artists of DempseyJ Illustrations, Nerd Comics Inc., and KyngPin Creations decided to do another cross-promotion collab, each of us working with both Deadpool and Wolverine, along with some other X-Men characters. And today, I'll be turning X-Men and Deadpool into monsters, being set in the same world as the Werecroc Gummy Goo from the Variety episode. Anyways, let's check out our X-Men monsters, shall we? As a hunter, we have to keep a delicate peace between humankind and the more intelligent monsters and creatures of our world. To help with that, some monsters have taken it upon themselves to join the hunters to help keep an eye open for threats from monster and human alike. Though, it is not uncommon for any hunter to take a more mercenary approach to their work. I was approached quite recently by a fellow hunter, clad in a red and black outfit, and had no head. Yet that didn't stop him from speaking. Widon Wilson, a Dullahan hunter that liked to call himself the Dedahan, the hunter with a mouth. Ironic, since he had no actual mouth, though when I brought that up, he said that was the joke of his monster choice. Anyway, he needed some help. Claiming a client of his stole his head, or skull, he wasn't sure what Knight was going to decide, and he wanted to make a team to get it back. It was taken by a group known as xmen, a group wanting to rid the world of monsters for good, that believes to accomplish this, they need to understand monsters more and how to create them, to then have a better idea how to destroy them. While the man didn't seem the most trustworthy to me, he was a fellow hunter, and so I agreed to his job. He had set up a crew, already acquiring a hunter able to make small electrical shocks, a humanoid monster whose saliva was a corrosive acid, someone claiming to be from another dimension, an invisible man, and some guy named Peter. Their names? I don't remember them, since they all died in the storming of the castle Dedahan's head skull was supposedly in. Though, I swear I saw Peter die at one point, before seeing him alive and well at the end of the conflict. Oh yeah, we did have two other teammates that survived. A fellow hunter named Lady Domino, I was familiar with, as probably the luckiest hunter in the world, and a special monster we acquired in Canada. Deep in the forests of Canada, Dedahan wanted to find a legend, a monster that some people talked about like they were a myth, though he was once a man, and is very much real. Logan Hollett, a man who was once a soldier, a mercenary, and a hunter, but also had a curse. Were creatures, a common monster in the world, born from magic and sometimes seen as a curse, depending on who it was used on. Logan was already an interesting person. Not fully monster, but had some in his DNA, allowing him to be practically immortal and able to heal any wound, before being found by XRM. And using alchemic science and a bit of magic, they turned Logan into a were-Wolverine, hoping to use him as a weapon for themselves. Logan was able to escape XRM thanks to the metal claws they gave him, and has mostly stayed out of the eyes of humanity, living a peaceful life in the woods. A peaceful life that Dedahan broke. The confrontation was a bit long. The fight between the two left Logan with his upper arms shaved completely by Dedahan's swords,
who said he needed to look more like the Wolverine. And in the end, I was able to persuade the former hunter to help us on this job, telling him we would be fighting the same group that forced his transformation on him centuries ago, and with the promise of going out into the world to acquire any item he required that he can't normally get. Logan then agreed to join the team for revenge, though first I had to get him some Cuban cigars, and the team made its way to the castle, where most of our team died before we even broke through the walls, and we were only able to break through due to the other team of hunters taking the rest of the guards out. We were not the only group looking to break into that castle that night. Like I said, there are monsters who become hunters to help the world even from threats of their own kind. One reason some monsters become hunters is because they are shunned by their kind, due to being a bit different. Some having abilities they shouldn't be able to have, some just being wired differently, and some just looking different than what is the norm for them. These mutations are seen as bad things, yet it just makes them more unique, an evolutionary change that can be more helpful than not. One such team of monsters like this is the Xavier Hunters, led by a man from New England and former hunter named Charles Xavier, and they too were breaking into this castle. The first of these hunters we ran into was a Night Imp, an interesting demonling that can teleport between distances, named for their dark blue skin and horns and black fur, though this one was taller than most imps, closer to the height of an average human without including the horns. He introduced himself as Kurt Wagner, and said his team was surprised by our appearance, though said our distraction made it easier for his team to break in. Dedahan seemed annoyed and mumbled something about the plot's different direction, and threatened Kurt and his team to stay out of his way. The Night Imp wasn't intimidated by the Dullahan, but offered the help of the Xavier Hunters so we may both complete our goals. That seemed reasonable, so me and Lady Domino acted as the voice of reason for our team so we may find the head skull. Kurt helped teleport us into the castle, where the guards were decimated by a Cyclops that could shoot a laser from its eye, a storm elemental, and a half-giant with skin made of metal that somehow was able to get along with Dedahan. There was tension between the groups, but we agreed this was a common enemy. Xarm needed to be stopped, so we would need to put away any differences for now and take out these whack jobs. However, unknown to any of us at the time, we still had something powerful to face. Something I thought we wouldn't be able to survive against. But since I'm telling this story, you can probably guess we survived. Just barely.
And next up, we got number SCP. What in the SCP-3304 was that?
Oh, hello there. Sorry for randomly barging in like this. I'm Whitney Parker, the totally legal mech armor engineer.
My name is Professor Marcus Blake, and only Professor Marcus Blake. And this here is SCP-KP-522, or as some of us around the Foundation have come to call him, Duck Scare.
Aw, he's so cute. And kind of the normalest thing I've seen in this place.
So you've been snooping around the Foundation, huh?
Well, I'd call it legally exploring the place after I accidentally teleported myself here while working on a trans-dimensional storage system for a mech armor I'm working on. So I've been teleporting around a bit today and decided to check this place out once the system got stable.
You wouldn't happen to have any relations with my interdimensional maybe not cousin who also makes mech armors named Benny Sharp now, would you?
Not familiar with that name, but another mech armor engineer? Ooh, a challenge. I love competition.
Okay, wait. What's that on your back?
What? Did I accidentally bring another random creature out of its room?
It seems to be a note attached to you by webbing?
That's weird. Let's see. It says, Whitney, don't forget to tell the battalion and other viewers to check out and subscribe to KyngPin Creations for the collab with the channels. I know you won't understand. If you're reading this out loud, this still counts. Signed by a DW.
That's, weird. Wait. Can we go back to the...
Containment breach. Containment breach. Containment breach. SCPs loose in the facility. Well, time for me to split. Think found some cool creatures to inspire some mech armors. Maybe I'll see you around. Later, Marcus.
It's Professor Marcus Plague and only Professor Marcus Plague.
We continued through the castle. No sign of the head skull, but soon we found a giant stone case that looked Greek to me in origin, with a unique carving of a bird on the lid. However, as we came in, someone from X-Arm let out a chant in Latin, opening the case and filling the room with an intense heat. Out of the case came a woman with red hair and bird wings, legs, and other features. A harpy, yet she glowed brightly like a flame. I was quickly able to deduce she was a phoenix harpy, which has not been reported in over a millennium to my knowledge. The member of X-Arm probably hoped she would attack us upon being released, but she collapsed to the floor at that time. Reasonable, since she should barely have any energy from this forced slumber, though I was wrong at the time. More guards showed up, led by a man who tried to call himself Ajax, but Dedahan kept calling him Francis. And of course, more fighting resumed, but with the disadvantage of them also releasing beasts they experimented on to fight us. It got pretty tough, and then the Phoenix Harpy woke up. The X-Arm gods and beasts were quickly eradicated, excluding Francis, but she then turned her attention onto us. Her flames were nothing I had ever felt before, and objects seemed to move around on their own, though I believe she was the cause of it along with the sudden headaches we all had at random intervals. When all looked to be lost, Dedahan and Logan asked the half-giant to throw them at her, a last-ditch attempt to bring her down. The Cyclops tried to interject and was trying to talk them out of killing her, but Dedahan ignored him and called him a strange word I'm not familiar with. A simp. We'll need to do some research on that word. But the two were thrown by the metal half-giant right for the Phoenix Harpy as we distracted her, and were immediately stopped mid-air by her. She looked intensely at the two, but before she could do anything else, she froze, clutched her head, before she fell out of the sky. The Cyclops caught her, and it appeared she was somehow knocked out. I heard mentions it was Xavier's doing, but not sure how a man that wasn't there could do something here. but I do have a theory on that. But with the ex-armed forces taken care of there, Dedahan asked where his head skull was, and Francis said his leader sold it off to a random merchant on the black market, with no idea where it is now. And with that, our job was technically done. Lady Domino decided to stick with Dedahan to help him find his head skull, and Logan was invited to join the Xavier Hunters, going back with them and the Phoenix Harpy. It was an interesting job, but I do wonder a little bit about this Phoenix Harpy. Why was she locked up? How was she found? And what plans did X-Arm have with her? Oh well. Probably not important. I do need to research how I should fight her if I ever need to take her out. Plus, I need to know what a simp is, and why exactly the Cyclops was called that. It better not be a slur, or I'll chuck Dedahan's head skull into the ocean. I wonder if there's any good tarts around to buy. Could really go for a strawberry lemon one right now. It would be red and yellow, just like Dedahan and the Wolverine.
And that was X-Men and Deadpool as monsters. This was a fun project, and honestly do like what I came up with these designs. But what do you think of them? Let me know in the comments, along with other X-Men characters I should turn into monsters, other series I should turn into monsters, and other things I should do with the X-Men. And of course, don't forget to check out DempseyJ turning them into mages, Nerd Comics Inc. as they turn X-Men into dinosaurs, and as KyngPin Creations makes them into demons. And if you liked what you saw, then leave a like, and subscribe to join our growing little Arcane town, to be in the know for future videos, plans, and collabs. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later!